Hey YouTube, this is Flashwing, bringing you some short video clips of a current install that I'm working on this morning on the 2009 Yamaha R1. Today I am putting in the HID conversion kit from DDM Tuning, probably one of the most inexpensive HID kits north of eBay. Wanted to show you just a couple of clips for the 09 R1. I wasn't too sure how difficult this install was going to be. Come to find out, it's actually very simple. So there's a couple of things that I wanted to show you really quickly if you're looking to do this yourself. I've already kind of gotten a few things already taken care of here, so I just want to show you some progress. First of all, this is the slimline ballast that's pretty standard with DDM. This is going to be for the H7 bulb configuration, and so basically the ballast has no direct battery connections. I'll actually show you it's going to be on the bulb itself. Both of these connections actually go to the bulb. They're all weatherproofed with clip-ons. Pretty nice stuff. I've used DDM tuning stuff in my own vehicles. I probably have 4 kits total installed from them. The nice slimline ballast, pretty easy to put just about anywhere you need. So where I'm at right now is, as you can see, this is the headlight housing for the 09. The cap basically screws off. You just basically have to turn it counterclockwise and pop the cap off. And then you have your connection here, which the DDM Tuning HID bulbs have just got flat connectors that will actually fit inside. And if you're worried about positive or negative, the most important thing to know is that the blue wire is going to be your power wire, and the gray wire is going to be your ground. Finally, the actual mounting mechanism, the spring, this did kind of throw me for a loop here. I started grinding on this screw here before I realized how this works. The screw point is actually just a pivot, and you actually, once you get the bulb in place, you basically close this mechanism like so, and then there's a hook right here that you lift up and hook into place, and that's it. So to reverse, to take it off, you push in, lift up, and then pull back. And it's pretty much the same thing on the other side. The main problem, and this is showing first of all the finished product for what you've got. You've got the actual bulb portion, you've got the power connectors, the plate power connectors that I mentioned, and then of course all the hookups for the ballast portion of this. So this is the cap for the headlight as it comes from Yamaha. So as you can see, the biggest problem is we need to get external wires outside, because we're going to need to drill a hole. I'm usually inclined to go to town with the Dremel. Unfortunately, where I live, noise is kind of a problem, but secondly, the Dremel is kind of a non-precise tool. So go get yourself a step drill bit that you can see. You basically can step down to different lengths. This particular one was 50 bucks at Home Depot. I know I've actually got another one laying around here somewhere, but it has gotten lost in my garage. Despite the fact that I may have had to buy 2 of these in the long run, this will make your life much, much easier. So in this case, you can actually take the step drill down to its maximum depth, and this one is a 1 1/8 inch diameter step. And you can see it creates a nice, well-made hole. So it's going to look good, it's going to fit right, and then we're going to actually install, and I'll show you the finished product, but this has got a decent weather seal. It may not be good enough to seal in some parts of the country that have got a lot of moisture. Out here in Arizona, moisture is not really a concern. So this is really going to be good enough to protect against the elements and keep this all nice and sealed, and also keep the wiring inside where it needs to be. So the next step is going to be to complete the bulb installation on this side, and then have it put in the bike. All right, So here we are. I've got it all hooked up for you, so you can kind of get an idea of where we are. Main thing to remember is we have to double check the bulb fitment. The main thing you want to make sure of is that the bulb, the actual large notch for the bulb actually goes down in the lower left-hand corner. It probably will be the same on the other side. And then you've got your hookups right here. They fit nice and snug. You may want to throw some electrical tape on them, but everything's pretty well sealed up in there, so I don't think you're going to have any problems. Alright, just want to give you guys an update here. I've got everything fairly well buttoned up. Got the intake back on. I've got everything hooked up down here. There's 100 different ways that you can mount the ballast for these bikes. I've decided, because everything's modular and removable, that I've actually mounted it down here on the inside of the fender well. I kind of got everything zip tied together as best I can. Now, the only thing that concerns me about this particular kit is the wiring here does protrude quite a lot, and it looks like under heavy lock, kind of, you get scooped down here, you can kind of see, under heavy lock, it does make contact with the wiring. So let me show you again, just try to find a good view for you. So it does make contact with the wiring, but it's only under full lock. You're not going to be doing that on high speeds. Nothing's going to get snagged because, of course, the steering damper is already fully extended inside when that happens. I imagine the other side will probably be similar. The one thing I'm going to be looking for is to make sure it doesn't make contact with the actual other opposite of the piston, because that could actually cause more damage. So that's just something to be mindful of with this kit. You just want to make sure that you get as much slack out of these wires as possible. There's really no way to push this piece inside. As far as I can tell, there's just not enough room. So that's going to be something I'll have to watch very carefully. But that's probably the only problem with this kit. Otherwise, for $45 shipped, I've got 5,000 K HID, so I'm going to button up the other side and then I'll be right back. Alright everybody, this is where I'm at so far on the right side of the bike. As you can see, I've got everything wired up and put in for this particular side. Let's try testing this out, get an idea of what the issue may be. So as you can see, full lock, not as much of an issue on this side. You are going to run the risk of pinching it off at the suspension, but it's really close. I think if it's properly tied down, it's going to be okay. The main thing that I wanted to see was whether or not the piston from the steering damper was going to run in, and you can see it's plenty clear. Like I said, there's 100 different places that you can install ballast. The problem is on the right side of the bike, there is a heat sink of some kind here. I don't know if this is for the fuel pump or the fuel relay. I'm not really sure, but that takes up the space that I used on the left side, much against my better judgment, but I think it's going to be fine. I've actually mounted the ballast, war wound, right, on the actual outside fairing. Plenty of space down here. This is, a nice big piece of double-sided 3M tape will do the trick. And so now I'm going to get everything wired back up and we should be ready to go soon. Alright, here's a little bit more with some more wiring organization. Basically, the additional module here, I basically put another piece of 3M sticky tape and stuck it down. I believe it may actually be attached to the ballast itself, but that way it's not going anywhere. The wiring, everything fits up pretty nicely underneath the actual intake area here. Everything's just going to have to get zip tied and well attached, but it's pretty well secured. It's not going to be exposed to any wind blasts, so it's going to stay pretty well in place. Just make sure everything's nice and organized and out of the way. Again, just so everybody can see, since of course the contact issue is what I'm worried about. So we're still looking really good on this side. So the left side's really the only one that was any concern. Otherwise, the wiring is going to be out of the way. and we'll update here in a minute when everything's wrapped up. All right, here we are. Intake's on. Wiring has got a couple of zip ties just to keep everything together. There is one thing that I wanted to mention, which is when you change your HIDs, this is purely for aesthetics. This has got no real visibility increase. You have your running lights, which are going to be the normal, light bulb style. What you really need to do is get yourself an LED replacement. Now I've robbed this from my project car, mainly because it's going to be out of the way for the next couple of days. I'm going to get new ones, but it's a 194 LED replacement, and these actually will match your HIDs. And all I did here was I just kind of turn this tab up, and you just give this guy a yank. Comes out. Replacement bulb comes out. Just gotta make sure you line it up. Okay, bulb is in, and then we're gonna want to test. So you just basically turn the key on. Oh no, wrong side. So we got the polarity reverse. Flip it upside down. Test, and it works. Reinstall as necessary. All right, moment of truth. We're gonna go ahead and test these out. So I'm gonna place the camera here and try to finesse my way. I see parts falling off of my light. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Still have to button up the intake and put everything back together, but if you don't know how to do that, you can always follow your factory service manual. And I'll be giving these a test tonight. Otherwise, this wraps up this install. So thank you very much for watching. Be sure to put any comments or questions at the bottom of the video. And be sure to subscribe for more reviews and installs. This has been Flashwing. Thanks for watching.